Hello, Disciple of God Award applicants. We're very excited as a committee that you have selected and chosen to be part of this process. We're looking forward to seeing what great leadership projects you have in place, how faith has really formulated your life, especially in this last year for returning applicants, and we're looking forward to reviewing everything. Like we've mentioned to other people who have come into the program, it's very competitive. We're limited with funds, so it's important that you really give us some deep thoughts around your faith and how things have actually affected your faith over the course of this last year and throughout your life. So we look forward to that, and we wanted to just kind of stress that. So let's dive into a couple things. So I just want to give you a heads up. It's due March 8th. We won't accept any applications that go beyond March 8th. So please make sure that you give ample time, give enough time so that you can really think through some of these answers, reflect on them, pray about them before submitting them, and then making sure that you get everything together as one continual package so that we can keep things straight. If any part of these um, submissions are omitted, the whole project, we end up just putting it, we stop reviewing it because there's just so many people that are applying right now that there has to be some way to kind of like cut things down. And if we make an exception for one person, we have to make an exception for everyone. So we're sticking to our laurels with that, but make sure that this checklist that you got everything here. We need a fully and completed application. Make sure it's typed. We want a high school or college transcript, depending on if this is your last year of school or if you're already in college and are applying for it either the first time or as a reapplication from previous years. And we want to make sure that you've answered two of the five faith questions. Make sure there's a couple caveats in some of these application or questions that are listed under the faith questions area of the application. Want to make sure that question number one, you do not pick an immediate family member as your spiritual role model in your life. That may be well and good, and you probably have lots of people in your family that you admire in that regard, but we want to see you stretch. We want to see you build relationships with your faith in the community and beyond just your family. So keep that in mind when you submit that. If you submit it with an immediate family member, it's not going to be considered in that regard. So then that application would not really be complete. So we ask you to make sure that you focus on that. In addition, the leadership project aspect of it, we want to know why you're picking this project, when you're going to perform it. We want real dates. We want timelines. We want steps, what you're actually going to do in this process. We want you to confirm with your sponsor. That means you need to talk to them beforehand. We don't want any sponsors to be surprised that they were listed on somebody's application. If they are surprised that they were listed on that, we're not going to move that one forward in the stack ranking. So it's just all of these things don't get eliminated for a reason that you can control in that regard. So make sure that you confirm with your sponsor, and we want to know what you expect to learn and why this is a leadership project in general. So, typically a leadership project is going to be someone who is bringing multiples of people together that are going to work on this. It's a service project, but we want you to lead more than just yourself in this avenue. So keep that in consideration. Those are going to stack rank higher than service projects just that you're doing by yourself in that regard. Once you have all of this information together, send it to Barb Ames at Servant of Christ. Also, if you can't send it via email, make sure that you pull it together and you mail it to Servant of Christ Lutheran Church at attention Annette Carlson, the Disciple of God Committee. But make sure that you give it enough time to get there. March 8th is a Sunday, so that means it would have to be received no later than the 7th, which means to be safe, you better get that thing out earlier in the week to make sure that it's in the pile If any applications miss the date, we really need kind of a way to kind of flush down some of the numbers anyway in that regard. So don't do it to yourself. All right. We want to read yours. We want to consider yours, but just try to help it out and improve your chances the best that you possibly can. In addition, we want you to take probably even more time than in past years. So we're trying to give a little bit more guidance around your leadership projects. We've had some awesome leadership projects come out on that standpoint, and we've seen some that have been repeats of past years and things. And we really want to challenge you to stretch your imagination. Don't put God in a box, right? I mean, He's giving you immense skills. He's given you immense talents that he wants you to take control of. He wants you to utilize for his purpose. And so we want to urge you to think boldly and to remember to bring God into your daily life. We know that God is with us as a congregation at Servant of Christ, and there are some great service projects to be had at Servant of Christ. So, but I don't want to discourage you from doing something unique within the church and with the church, but I would actually ask you to consider, doing some things that haven't been done before, things that are new, that would stretch your abilities, that would require other people to get involved in order for you to actually accomplish it. So, kind of brainstorm some ideas, kind of try to determine, where God wants to be represented in your life, and that would be in everything, but specifically some areas that come to mind. And how would God like you to do that? I don't know, pulling them into social media or into school or neighborhoods or communities that you're at, or what he will do to bring life into um, an initiative that you're not sure you can accomplish all by yourself, but you're going to need other people in the process. So make sure you hit on all of these key areas when you specify the project. That'll really help its ability to be ranked high in this priority basis as we look at the multitudes of projects. And once again, I can't stress enough that validate who your mentor is so that they are aware, so that when we talk to them, they know that what you're trying to do, and they're on board with trying to help you. All right. And I do stress also to try to pull someone in from the congregation, outside of your family. That's another great way for you to grow your faith beyond just your family, or people in the church you feel comfortable with. Bring in people that you feel could add value to the initiative you're trying to accomplish, on God's behalf. So something to think about, but definitely pray over it and see where he brings you. And for returning applicants, we want to know how your project went last year. What things you think we could have done better? What things, if you had to do it all over again, the approaches you might take, and how did your faith get stretched, right? So go ahead and make sure that you're real clear on that piece. This is not something that first time applicants have to include, but we want to see that. We want to see that you saw it through last year and what ended up happening and what you learned because of it, or what was accomplished because of it. And then lastly, what I want to try to remind you of is that, it's not that long until March 8th. So it's really time to get started. Don't wait. We're all keeping you in our daily prayers. And with today's technology, we figure it's a great time to set that timer, set some goals for yourself, get that brainstorming going. And we look forward to some immensely creative projects this year and can't wait to try to support you in those efforts. Have an awesome time putting these together, and we're excited to take a look and help any way possible. Have a wonderful day, and if you have any questions of the team, don't hesitate to let us know. Thank you, and have a great day.